Welcome back, everybody, to the Pick and Roll live stream right here on the Board YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network. And we're live after we've had 7 straight days of profit overall on the show. Shout out to Pips over here, my co-host, for giving us winning picks and winning days. Again, 7 straight winning days in the show, but absolutely, we are looking to make it 8 today, and we have 2 MGM or DraftKings SGPs on the way for you guys. Sorry about the delay in the start today. We had 2 picks ready to go before we're about to go live, and they both moved very slightly. So we had to make some solutions, some alterations, but we are back here and we are ready to go. So if you've been cashing along with these picks, and we had a plus 2.5 unit day yesterday, think that we cashed on, make sure you do hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, we do live streams every weekday mornings for free picks, just like the ones we're going to give out today. So please make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you know exactly when we're going live and when the content is coming out. All right, guys, we had you waiting long enough for this one. Let's get into the 2 picks that are on the way for today's show. One last final check to make sure no other alterations need to be made, and it appears as though we are all set. All right, here is the first play in the Jazz and Thunder game. We are taking Jalen Williams, J-Dub, 18+ points, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 4.5 assists. This is minus 115 at BetMGM. The issue earlier was Jalen Williams' 17.5 point line went missing, but we got the 18+ point line, so we are all good here. Minus 115 odds right now at BetMGM in the Jazz and Thunder game. The second play of the day is in the 76 and Suns game. We have gone for Tyrese Maxey, 25+ points, and Bradley Beal, 15+ points, minus 110 odds at DraftKings. However, you can also just play this at BetMGM as well if you want to just keep the same sportsbook open for that one. So again, this one available on DraftKings and BetMGM. This one was the late edition. We had another play from Pips, which contained a Georges Niang over on points and a Karis LeVert over on assists. It was 8+ points, 5.5 assists, but that one got juiced a lot. It got juiced a lot fairly quickly there. We could not find any sort of fix, or at least Pips could not find any sort of pick. So these are the 2 plays. All right, Pips, let's go back to you for the first time today. Back after the big day yesterday, and why are you going, first of all, with J-Dub and SGA on an SGP?
Yeah, this one just makes a lot of sense if you take a look at on the season and how they did against the Utah Jazz, and last 2 games against the Utah Jazz, Shea 6 and 7 assists, and in those games J-Dub scored 27 and 26 points. These are not outliers. If you take a look at the season, the Utah Jazz allows the most like by far the most points to opposing point guards. And if you take a look at the scoring, they allow by far the most points to the opposing power forwards. So it makes sense. It works well together. They are going very aggressively against the Shea in this one, and yeah, I just expect this to work. If you take a look at the graphs, uh, we can see when Shea is playing a below average teams on defensive rating over this line in 27 out of the 32 games. And if you take a look at the J Dub, how he performs lately, his form is going way up, and he is covering this line like 80% of the clear rate the last couple of months. Last 2 games scored 23 against the Memphis. Before that, had 27 against the Dallas Mavericks. Like earlier in the season, he was like 16%, 16 points scorer. Like first month of the season, J Dub averaged 15.5 points. Next month, 18. Next month, 19. Next month, 20. Next month, 22. So steady increase by every month of the season. And yeah, he is now a 20 plus point scorer easily every night. And when you look at the roster, they have Dort, they have Chad, they have Gide. Like he needs to be the second guy, and so far this season he had great success against the Jazz. So we are taking this combined because it makes sense. Double teams on Shea open up the space for J Dub.
There you have it. That is the first play that we have from Pips for today's show. Want to give a quick shout out while we're in between picks here to a lot of the names in the chat that we see very consistently here. We have Winner One, Rye Pro, Badger Boy, Loadmeister joining today, and shout out to Fries for sending in a super chat in the show on the show as we were in the intro there, sending in and saying thanks for these 7 straight profitable days. Thank Pips, not me. He's the one giving out these plays here. I'm happy to host and go along for the ride. Here is the second play of the day. It is in the 76ers and Suns game, as I mentioned. Minus 110 on this one at DraftKings, but it was also available at BetMGM right at the time we gave it out. Tyrese Maxey, 25 plus points. Bradley Beal, 15 plus points. Okay, what is the handicap behind this one?
Yeah, just first part is how terrible Suns defense is. We've seen it for the last couple of games. Like it's absolutely terrible, and they allow a lot of points. They are not defending well anything, and I expect them to give a single coverage against Tyrese Maxey. So that should be like easy. Lillard had 31 in that game a couple of days ago, and he wasn't even trying to score because they were up so much throughout the entire game. If you take a look at the Boston Celtics game, Jalen Brown 37 easily. Like whoever tries to score a lot from against them is scores. Darius Garland had 30 points. Like it's easy to score against them, and Maxi is a good form lately, and he scored 28 plus points in 8 out of the last 12 games, and somewhere like 30 points against Miami Heat twice, overs against Boston, like tough matchups lately, and he covered and now gets one of the best matchups of the season. They are allowing a lot of pull-up threes from above the break. They allow a lot of pull-up from mid-range, and still being a below average rim defense. Similar players are scoring like 20 points on average more against the Suns this season. So yeah. And the other side, we had Bill, eight straight games with 15 plus points. Somewhere without Devin Booker, but even with Booker back, he had against the Cleveland Cavaliers 24, against Boston Celtics 22, and in the last game against the Bucks 28 points. So they are going a lot through Bill, and we can expect if Nurse is going to double team someone on that team, it will be Booker or KD or probably both. I don't think he'll do anything against Bill. So yeah, I just think with intention, Nurse is going to give the top two guys. Bill should have way more space in this one, and even though like the Bucks didn't do much against Booker and KD, like they didn't do mm, like a lot of blitzing or double teaming, and he still scored at 28. Same thing with against the Boston 22 in a blowout loss. So yeah, I like this combination together.
You had some specifics for Tyrese Maxey for the Suns defense. I don't know if you wanted to still go through for that here.
Yeah, you can see like he's dominant pick and roll balls handler scoring 23 ranked by the Suns. They are like 8 worst. Transition defense sucks for Suns, as you can see here. And they allow fifth most above the break threes. That's where Maxi scored 40% of his points. And we had Jalen Green, like in 2 days, scoring back to back 34 against Suns. And yeah, throughout the season, players were going scoring 21% points more on average against the Suns. So this is a good stuff for Maxi, who averaged 28 and a half over the last 12. So if he scores 20% more, we'll see 30 plus for Maxi.
All right, quick reminder after those two picks, drop a like if you are enjoying the show, especially if you are tailing the picks coming out today. Let's get you to the recap of the previous show's picks. So it was a great day for the show, absolutely. Not only was it the 2-0 day, one of those two plays was the big SGP. And the big SGP was at plus 298, which gives us a total of I wrote plus 2.5 units. It's actually plus 2.49 units. So forgive me for rounding up a little bit there to make it look a bit cleaner. But yeah, absolutely crushing it now on the season. Plus 17.8 units in total combined with last season where we ended at 7.9 units. So right about in the addition of 10 units for the season. For the show yesterday, we had a very early and comfy winner on Fred VanVleet and Amin Thompson. I believe it was a early third quarter cash for that one. And the play that did it was, I think, a Fred assist to Amin Thompson, who gets a season high 25 points. And then in our other game here, the big SGP, Luka Doncic easily covers his assists. Kyrie Irving gets over the line in the fourth quarter. Gafford, I think, crushed the points early, got over the rebounds relatively early as well. It was almost a pretty sweat-free double winning day for the show here. And that makes it actually, how many winning picks is that in a row? 4 straight picks have been winners. So, Pips, any word for these two plays here and just the win streak in general?
I mean, if you take a look at the last night bet and the previous night bet, you can see very similar stuff. From Fred VanVleet assist, DeJounte Murray assist, Bogdan Bogdanovic points, Amin Thompson points, both cash, first possession of the second half. Yeah, it's been great. I'm being a bit conservative here. We could bet Fred VanVleet straight line over assists and Amin Thompson straight line over points. It will be both winners. Same stuff with DeJounte Murray and Bogdanovic, but I'm okay with 1 to 2 bets, great bets, very strong. And I stand to Daniel Gafford over PR before the show. With whom would we went from this to that to this? His PR line cashed also like early second half, like 5 minutes into the second half. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I was worried about in this one, Doncic had covered this in the first half. Gafford covered in the first half. Rebounds came late into the third, and the only thing I was waiting for is Kyrie Irving scoring, because Luka Doncic was just chucking shots up. It was insane. I think it ended up like 6 from 26 or something. Like, so I know Luka is very talented, but I hate to watch the way he's playing. His passing is great. He can make great passes. He had a ton of assists, but it's like, okay, at one point he was 2 from 13, and everyone else on the team was 13 from 15, and he just continued shooting those contested shots instead of looking for their teammates. I know the assist numbers won't tell you that, but he has higher assist numbers because he handles the ball 20 out of 24 seconds of the possession, and either he takes the shot or he makes a pass to a guy that needs to take a shot. So yeah, but yeah, it was a bit like Kyrie covered in the last 4 minutes because he didn't get as many usage because Luka was just shooting a lot, and then Kyrie took over. It was like easy cover.
Yeah, but it felt like Kyrie was just gonna keep on building and eventually get to that 24. I mean, obviously, you never know.
Yeah, he was on pace entire game.
Yeah,
like
he
14 at the
kept on
halftime,
Yeah.
20 at the end of
That's what I mean. It never looked
Yeah.
like it wasn't going to win. It always looked like it would, like it should eventually get there. Obviously, you never know, especially with the SGPs with all these various legs associated. But yeah, overall I'd say pretty comfortable for these two, and it's great to be on the run for the show. Absolutely.
And I think I don't know how many I shared on the show or on Twitter, but combining 17 out of 17 wins, 18 losses on big SGPs, average price plus 300 and 40 ROI on these big SGPs 117% on the season.
And we won't do any cheating because there was a situation started the season where like we were doing big SGPs for shorts. We weren't putting them on the show necessarily. So there's actually 3 additional big SGPs that were given out on this show that are not reflected in the record. So, I guess those are unofficial wins, but just if you've been tailing all the picks this season, yes, up on the season, but actually even more when you consider if you tailed those on the show as well. So yeah, everything seems to be going swimmingly right now. Have been in a bit of choppy waters at times this season, but I guess we continue to say as the sample increases, hopefully we're continuing to find good lines, continuing to find good closing line value. Hopefully things start to turn around at some point, and I guess this is the run that I think the show has absolutely deserved based on some of the
Yeah.
bad luck this season overall. So great for the people that have stuck through out this season. All right, I think that will do it for the show today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate all the support all throughout the season. The season is starting to wind down here, but have no fear, even amidst players resting, teams resting players, and injuries going on. Last season, I believe the show still finished quite positively to end the regular season last year. So hopefully this sort of run can sustain itself for the rest of the season with Pips' work, putting in the work for these picks. So for the 7 straight winning days, we're gonna have to go 2-0 today to make it the 8 straight winning days in the show. But having the win streak is great. It's nice to post on social media, put in the titles on YouTube. But the same strategy is going to continue to be employed here. 2 plays that Pips likes. If they go 2-0, obviously the win streak keeps going. It's great, but 2
If
positive positions.
If I wanted to like continue the streak, I'll probably do 1 or 3 bets.
Right.
Say I'm
But
not. I mean, looks nice, but I don't care. Like I'll always give you the best I can. So.
Exactly. It's all about the long-term sample. Obviously, it's nice to have the win streak and such, but not focused on the short term on a day, just one day like today, focus on long-term. That's why there's 2 plays today. Those 2 plays that we have from Pips are in the Jazz and Thunder game, first of all. J-Dub, Jalen Williams, 18-plus points, and SGA over 4.5 assists. It was -115 at BetMGM. The second play, -110 at either DraftKings or BetMGM in the 76ers and Suns game. It's Tyrese Maxey, 25-plus points, Bradley Beal, 15-plus points. If you want, I guess, a bonus play, if it does happen to come back, I would say it probably won't come back. The play that we had earlier for the show was Georges Niang, 8-plus points, Karis LeVert over 5.5 assists. It was -115. I'd say you don't want to play that over -120. It moved to -130 at MGM and -141 at ESPN before the show. Again, I honestly, I usually don't even like telling you guys what the plays are because then you bet it. Some people might bet it at the juice prices, which would probably make them negative EV. But because people asked pre-show, I'll share it what it was. But again, we advise not to play over -120 here and make sure you are getting a good price still. Don't have FOMO here. Don't have fear of missing out on that play here. If a line gets past where you should be betting it, so be it. But hey, later in the day, maybe it does come back. You can go and check that out. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Drop a like if you did enjoy 7 straight winning days. That absolutely deserves some thumbs up on this. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe because me and Pips are here every weekday morning for more shows just like this. Hopefully seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully a 2-0 day to make it 8 straight winning days.